What's poppin', y'all? I know I'm late. I know in internet time I'm a decade late, but here's a Superman review. We finally here. So I saw the Superman movie about 2, 3 days ago, and my first reaction to it is what more could you want? What more could you want out of a Superman movie? It was bar for bar as a Superman movie, it was bar for bar like straight out of a comic book. I know a lot of people say that about a lot of superhero movies, or it's torn right out the page. Is right direct from this comic. Like, no, the feeling of the movie, the look of the movie, the characters, the acting. I felt like these were real people. It really did feel that way. But before I get into it, I like to break my reviews up into like different categories. So I'll start with visuals first, then I'll get into the plot, and then after the plot, I'll get into the characters. Or I might do the characters first and then the plot. So let's talk visuals. Visually, the minute this movie starts, uh, the colors just pop. And honestly, the way this movie starts is one of my favorite moments of the movie. I really enjoyed how this movie starts. It just felt real. It felt grounded, and I know that's an overused term in film, but it really did feel grounded. It felt like, man, this is happening in real time. That's what it felt like. Um, man, the flight scenes of Superman flying, his fight scenes are great. The display of everyone's abilities are very well executed. Green Lantern, Mr. Terrific, we all love Mr. Terrific. Superman himself, uh, it was just a really cool display visually how everyone just executed their powers. Um, how else can I get to? Oh, CGI. The CGI was pretty good. Nothing felt like, oh, this looks bad. And you know me, it's easy to take that stuff for granted. It's easy to take the hard work these CGI specialists do to make sure this movie looks as good. Um, but yeah, man, colors vibrant. Uh, the flight scenes great. Characters, the how they look, the costumes, all the costumes were they had that James Gunn signature in a sense of like, no, I want this to be bright. I want this to be just like the comic book. We are not going for any realism whatsoever. Fuck realism. That's what the era we're in right now, especially in this James Gunn era of DC. Fuck realism. This is where we're at. So that's as far as visually what I got with this movie. Um, I have to say, I want to go to the characters. David Corn said as Superman was very believable. Just like I said, just like I saw from the trailers, just how I saw he carried himself. Just just as much, I love the switch how he went from Clark Kent to Superman. And though you don't see it a lot in this movie, uh, it was a pretty good execution of what he did, even though it wasn't a lot. Um, the way he showed his emotions, the way he conveyed himself, his mannerisms, his body language, he really got the part down. I can't really say anything as far as what I didn't like from his Superman, and I say there's one part in the movie that was kind of a bit cheesy to me, but then again, I had to question myself. It's like, well, that's Superman. So I can't really get mad at that. Even though I may not have liked it as much, I can't really give it a minus because of that. Because that's Superman, right? Maybe it's because I don't like that part of Superman. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's not necessarily the movie did something wrong, but more so is maybe, hey, I don't like that part of Superman. This is a spoiler-free review. I'm not going to get into like the tit for tat everything in detail. I'm trying to be as vague as possible. So Superman, David Cornsett did a phenomenal job. I forgot the actor name that played Mr. Terrific, but Mr. Terrific, yo, Mr. Terrific. I love it when a movie takes these B minus characters and make them a fan favorite. I love it when they did it with Rocket Raccoon. I love it how they did it with Mr. Terrific. It is executed so well. And that actor was the same guy that played Darwin in X-Men First Class. See, he might have arguably the greatest superhero comeback of all time. Like, I have not seen anybody else come back from a shit role. Not that he did bad in the role, but just a written shit role, come back and do something this great. Like, Mr. Terrific, every scene he was in, you want to see more of Mr. Terrific. I hope he gets a movie. I hope he gets a show. Whatever medium it is, I want to see Mr. Terrific, and that seems to be the consensus of just what the fans are saying. I love Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner's Green Lantern. I've never been a Guy Gardner fan, but this movie made me a fan of Guy Gardner. Just as much as we love Superman, and this movie is about him, man, they James Gunn did a phenomenal job of making us want to see more of these side characters. Like, you can't ask for any more than that. Like, no, I want him to have a movie. I want him to have a movie. Like, I like that. I like it when you can make the side characters appeal in their own right. So Nathan Fillion, there's a scene he has. There's a particular scene that Green Lantern has that's hilarious to me, and I just love it. And it's just, man, that's Guy Gardner. That is how he would act. I was just so with it. I was really really with it, man. Like, I don't really have a lot of complaints about the movie. I have two technically, but it's not like serious downfalls. It doesn't make the movie worse. It's just small things. But as far as the characters, Lois Lane. Uh, I'm glad they didn't write Lois Lane as the typical uh damsel in distress. I'm glad they didn't make her be, oh, I need to be saved. No, I can hold my own. And that is Lois Lane. Lois Lane, I know some people off a surface level think she's just this damsel in distress. She's not really that all the time. A lot of times she's just holding her own, doing her own thing. And I like that this movie did that. It's not about Superman always saving Lois. Superman is trying to save the world, and he definitely did that in this movie, man. It's definitely a great body of work how they wrote this movie. It really is. Uh, okay, I think that's enough as far as the characters go. Mr. Terrific, Green Lantern, Superman, Lois Lane. Of course, we love Crypto. Crypto was cool. I didn't think I was gonna like Crypto this much, but I actually did. But as far as that's pretty much it as far as the characters go for me. I guess I'll go ahead and end it with the plot. The plot was incredibly simple, and that's not a bad thing. Like, I'm not taking points off for it being a bad thing. I'm glad it was simple. It don't need to complicate things. Listen, I'm glad this movie wasn't an origin story. This movie got straight to the shits. It was not this oh, we got to see how this hero came to be. What do we know about him? Like, who is he? No. I think as far as origin stories go, for these three characters, I don't need an origin story for Superman. I don't need an origin story for Batman. And I sure as hell don't need to see Uncle Ben get murked again in an origin story for Spider-Man. If you do not know who these characters are by now, I think that's a little bit of shame on you as a viewer. Like, and I'm not talking about general audience people. I'm talking about people who know this stuff. We don't need no more origin stories for well-established characters. We just don't, bro. Uh, Heroes like Iron Man need a origin story. Heroes like maybe even Mr. Terrific need an origin story. Characters we don't know, characters the general audience are just not familiar with. But again, this back to the plot, man. Uh, man, I'm messing up so much. To go back to the character Lex Luthor, talk about hate personified. Like, Uh, again, I forgot the actor's name, but Lex Luthor did his thing. I I just don't have no complaints with this movie, man. It was so simple. It was so colorful. It was really like watching a Saturday morning cartoon, and it's just another adventure. That's it. That's it. It doesn't need to be complicated. Superhero movies do not need to be complicated all the time. I get you can have I get you can have storylines where the heroes are at a bit of a standstill trying to figure out what's the right thing to do, like Captain America Civil War. I get those movies are dope, and I'm not taking anything away from that. But I'm saying in this sense with Superman with this movie, it didn't need to be complicated. It didn't need to uh find like something super complex. Like it's just a simple superhero saving the day. And I think as a community, I think a lot of superhero movies have gotten away from that. And I'm glad this movie just did that pretty much. As far as continuing on the plot, I'd say another thing. There were two characters in this movie. I'm not going to say who. There were two characters in this movie where they just served as plot armor to me. And if you've seen the movie, you know who I'm talking about. But because when I saw those two characters do what they did, I was like, damn, that's it. Like, that's all it took. That's all it took to save the day. All right, cool. But it just felt like plot armor to me. And cause I mean, throughout the movie, I was trying to figure out, well, dang, how is Superman gonna get out of this one? What is he gonna do? And then I see what these characters do, and I was like, okay. I mean, easy cop out. That's really my only negatives with this movie were those two characters. And again, if you've seen the movie, you know who I'm talking about. I kind of don't even need to say it, but yeah, man, that's pretty much sums up my thoughts about the movie. If I had to give it a rating, I said I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 9. Go ahead and get it a 9 out of 10. Only because those two characters, the plot armor. I felt like the story could have. Um, Man, I think I just felt like the story didn't need the plot armor. Maybe they could have found a different way to solve that certain issue that they were having in the movie. But again, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. So that's pretty much it, man. That's my review on Superman. I'm gonna do a spoiler, an actual spoiler, video of Superman. I want people to see the movie a bit more first because nowadays people just spoil everything and they want to be first. They want to be first. Like, no, I want y'all to see this movie. I want everyone to enjoy this movie, and stay away from reviews. If you This review is for people who have seen this movie. If you haven't seen this movie, I don't want you watching me because I want you to go in with your own thoughts, your own opinions, and just have fun. Have fun. It's a fun movie. Uh, and that's it. It's a fun movie. It's a fun Superman movie. Like what more you want? What more do you want? If you shit on the movie, you're either just not a happy person and you just always finding something to complain about, or two, you're just a bitter Snyder fan. Which I like Man of Steel too, but it's just not that deep anymore. Move on. Speaking of Man of Steel, the last thing I was gonna say about this movie, I couldn't help and I'm sure y'all probably thought this too that saw this movie. I couldn't help but think about Man of Steel a little bit, only in the sense of I wish it had that grit. And I'm not talking about how the movie was shot. I'm talking about more so the tonality of the movie. I wish it had a tiny bit more grit, but aside from that, I have no complaints, man. I'd watch it again any day, anytime. And that's it. That's my Superman review. So if you haven't seen it, go see it. If you have seen it, let me know what you think. Like it, shit on it. Let me know. That's it.